So in this video, we're going to embellish a canvas start to finish. We've got a canvas here that's been already sprayed with UV coating so that the ink is protected and we can go ahead and embellish. And we're starting off with all the white highlights here. What we're going to do is take some titanium white and sort of blend it into the brightest brights here so that your highlights pop a little bit more than they do with the ink. You want to really kind of be judicious about how much you put on here. You just want little bits of highlight. You want to accent what's already there. You don't want to overwhelm it. In the reds here, what I'm doing is I'm taking some cadmium red glaze, and I'm glazing into the cloth here. And it's a clear glaze, so it's not overwhelming, and what it does is it takes your reddest reds in these areas here and it just gives them a little bit more pop. It's that cadmium red. You can make it look very, very good with the giclée inks, but just a little bit of cadmium glaze here really brings it out. On the crown here, what I'm doing is adding in some gold. Obviously it was a gold crown. So doing some gold highlights here on the crown will make a big difference in bringing the print to life. I did not do the jewels per se. I thought they looked already good, but lots of gold here. Sometimes you have to go back over it a couple of times. The gold flakes don't really lay on that thick, and you don't want them to. You want some of the ink to come through underneath. So you have this sort of this natural embellishment. Again, don't overwhelm the painting, enhance it. Still just painting along here. Probably could have made this a little shorter, but now doing the same thing on the sword. And the sword, more than the crown here, in the handle, it's got some areas that are dark and light. So when you embellish shiny things like this, you want to pretend like you're painting chrome. So what I'm doing is going into the midtones with the gold flake. I'm going into the highlights a little bit with the white. Actually, I've already done that. And then when I'm done with that, I'll go in with, in a moment here, with a burnt sienna glaze. And I'll just glaze a little bit of burnt sienna in the darks so that those reflections really pop and you give them a lot of depth. There we go. I'm doing it on the ring. Same thing on the ring, a little highlight. There, see, that looks so much better. Now this is where I'm going in with the burnt sienna. You can tell just a little tiny bit underneath each reflection there. Add some depth to it. Yep. Painting along. See, you can end up done the same thing in the sword there. Just a little bit of burnt sienna glaze. It's a clear glaze into those dark areas, and it really adds a little contrast. Now yellow, the cadmium yellow enhancement in the flames here looks really good, and it really does bring out some of the yellow that you couldn't get otherwise in print. There's some of our materials are gold. Now here at the end, we're putting texture on the painting, and you really have to gob it on. This is golden gel, and this is a semi-gloss gel, and you really have to gob it on. You have to put on what looks like way too much, because otherwise when it dries, you won't see it. So your raised areas and your textured areas, you really need to put in a little bit more than you think will be okay, because once that dries clear, a lot of that will just go away, and what you end up with is a nice texture and a nice protection of the whole painting. And there, it's finished except for the signature. You can see we went over that with gold as well, and that's about it.